Let me tell you a little story of how Àwọn Ìyàmi came into being. First of all, let's trash out a lot of common questions that I get. First, people ask, Iyami Eleye, are they witches? No. Scroll down my page and you'll see a previous video that I have done explaining that in full details. Secondly, are they Orishas? No, they're not, but they are powerful spiritual beings. Thirdly, can I be initiated into Àwọn Ìyàmi, into Eleye? No, you don't ask for them, they ask for you. You don't choose them, they choose you. Now, according to Osameji, Osameji is one of the Oduifas. Let me tell you how they came to this side of earth. When every other Orisha was coming to earth, when Eledumare assigned them to come to earth to do different things, Àwọn Ìyàmi wanted to come with them, but they discovered they were naked. And of course, they couldn't come to earth naked. They kept on asking for help from one Orisha or the other, one Irumole or the other, and nobody was ready to help them. Until they came across Orunmila. Orunmila looked at Iyami and, saw her benevolence, her kindness, and all of the good stuff she has done, and he decided to help. But he didn't have clothes to give her or anything she could cover her nakedness with. And then she said, you know what, I have an idea. Why don't I go into you, and then when we get to the earth, I can come out of you. That way nobody sees me when I'm coming down. And when we get to earth, I will figure out how people get clothes and how they cover their nakedness. So Orunmila agreed. She went into him. Remember, they are spirit, very powerful sacred spirit. And she went into him and they came down to earth together. Now, upon getting to Ileife, the center of creation and where it all began, she refused to come out of him. And he wasn't comfortable going around with her because she was in him, controlling all of his thoughts, his mind, and his activities. So she decided to stay. And then he thought of something. Orunmila studied all the things that she loves, and he decided to make an ipese using her favorite palm oil, the red oil. And she smelt it. It was something she loved. Poof! She jumped out of him, and immediately he noticed she was out of him. He left her there with her ipese, and then he ran away. Now, the ipese is the sacrifice or the appeasement that they love, and he ran away. And since then, Àwọn Ìyàmi has been on this side of life. Doing what exactly? Now, the English people want us to believe that they are evil, they are witches, but not exactly, But one thing you should know is that they are female. And when the slave masters came to Africa, they came with this egocentric attitude and they wanted to be in control of everything. And they couldn't fathom how women, the female gender, could be so powerful, so in control. So they had to devise a means to send them out of town, to make people see them as evil, to defame their character, and to label them witches. That's where that whole concept came from. So they started pointing out every wrong thing about them until they were banished out of the community of people, and then they had to move far and way into the woods and forests. Now, what did Olodumare himself originally intended for Àwọn Ìyàmi to do? I always say this, they are just look at them as the judges of the earth. Now, a judge is neither good nor bad. A judge is just there to put balance. Sometimes they discharge and acquit an accused person, and sometimes they sentence the accused person to some extreme form of judgment. It doesn't make them good or bad. They are just there to put the balances in everything we do in life. Now, we can find them among certain groups right now. They belong to certain Ifa groups. They belong particularly to what we know today as the Ogboni confraternity. They have a space there. But remember, they are neither Orishas nor Irumoles. They are what we call the spiritual powers that rule and that judge. And they do this with motherly love. And that is why they are female. They are just strictly female, because it only takes a female to carry that level of discipline with compassion and be able to balance it. So the next time somebody tells you, I'm going to do an initiation for you in Iyami, just run away. They're about to scam you. Nobody can do that for you. And the next time somebody tells you, they are witches, they are evil, we have to bind them and cast them and whatever those outrageous things are, tell them no. Now you would also learn how to be on their good side by appeasing them regularly. You always take them into account for everything you want to do. You want to make sure you are not on their bad side. They are also called Àwọn, which means the owner of the birds. And that birds just typically describe their children. They are the ones that own them, and that we have associated witchcraft to birds, and they are flying and all of those good or bad stuff, but they are the owners of the birds, and the birds are their children. They love them, they take care of them, and they discipline them. Now, because most people don't know how to stay on their good side, you always get to cross paths with them, and that is why all you get from them is the discipline. Several Odwifa, when you die Ifa, which is your Ifa consultation, always comes up with ètùtù àwọn àgbàlagbà, ètùtù àwọn ìyàmi. That is the appeasement that you should give to them. Make sure you do it regularly. Make sure you learn what their taboos are. Make sure you know how to stay on their good side so that you don't have any hitch with them. If you have any other questions, just drop it in the comment section and I'll be back in another video to explain it to you. So until next time, remember that the code and the foundation of Ifa religion is Iwapele, your good conduct, your good attitude of integrity, of compassion, of satisfaction, of love. Because at the end of the day, love covers everything. Ashe.